Go Island is on location in Campbell River for the Wounded Warrior Run. This is Go Island. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. We're on location in Campbell River where we've caught up with the Wounded Warrior Run. They are on their way from the North Island all the way down to Victoria. They will arrive there on Friday. In today's show, a little bit of everything. We're going to start right here in Campbell River. We're on location with the Wounded Warriors as they are arriving at the Campbell River Legion. This is so exciting. They've even got a great little welcoming committee to welcome them.
All right, go ahead.
And coming up in today's show, a little bit of everything. We're going to head down to the Comox Valley for this, but stay tuned. We've got interviews coming up.
I'm second vice of the Royal Canadian Legion Branch 137 here, and I would like to welcome you very much to our branch. Thank you so very much for everything that you are doing. It is so much appreciated, and please come inside and enjoy a meal with us.
Oh, thank you very much. We're honored.
Come on, guys.
I'm Mary Ruth Harris, and we are very honored to be here at the Campbell River Legion with Chris Linford, who is the National Ambassador for the Wounded Warriors. Chris, how long have you been in that role as a National Ambassador?
Yeah, it's just over a year now.
Okay.
My wife and I started a speaking tour for promoting my book about 2 years ago, and we met up with the Wounded Warriors folks, and they said, you guys need to be on board with us. So we've been doing it ever since.
What's the name of your book?
It's called A Warrior Rising, A Soldier's Journey to PTSD and Back. It's essentially the story that chronicles my struggle over the last 20 years with PTSD and how I've made lemonade out of lemons, come back to good health.
Excellent. Now, on that journey, what was one of the most challenging hurdles?
Probably one of the most challenging hurdles was simply to deal with the stigma that exists in this country and in our culture about mental health injuries in general. I was really profoundly impacted by that, and it actually prevented me from coming forward for almost a decade to get help. But once I figured out that stepping forward and getting help wasn't about being weak or strong, it was about getting what I needed for my family so that I could get back to health and become a productive member of society again rather than a burden.
In today's world, where we are now in 2015, what's missing?
Well, I'm not sure that anything per se is missing, because what I'm seeing is a very gradual but steady increase in the awareness in Canada in particular about what this injury is, and not just for veterans and how it impacts veterans and those of us that go and serve in bad places around this world. We certainly see things that can give you PTSD, but we have PTSD across society in Canada. The military doesn't have the lockdown on it, but I think the military just might be the organization in Canada that is leading the way in learning how to deal with it and helping others to deal with it. So that's what I do as National Ambassador to Wounded Warriors Canada, is go around and speak about it in all sorts of different places to really raise the awareness, which will hopefully reduce the stigma surrounding mental health injuries, but particularly surrounding PTSD.
What are you hoping to achieve with this run?
Well, this run is the second time we're running it. Last year they did it sort of very small grassroots group of guys that decided we should run the length of the island, to raise awareness. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? To raise awareness around PTSD, and maybe we'll raise $5,000. Well, what they found is over the time they ran the island is that the island simply woke up to the fact that this issue exists, and various communities up and down this island decided we need to do something about that. So we're going to go out and we're going to support these 6 folks that are running the island. That happened last year. We created a much more robust community organization to run this year.
Okay.
A committee of about 16 or 17 people to really coordinate it well and keep the runners away from all of the business of planning like they did last year. And as a result, we have a team of runners this year that are very, ready to take this on. And they weren't so burdened by all of the planning that had to go into place to get it to happen. So we've really seen the communities just latching on to all this and coming out in numbers, just like we're seeing here tonight in Campbell River.
In support. So is this run happening anywhere else in Canada, or is this the initial?
Yeah, this is the second time we're running the run on this island. What the plan is, and this is just a plan, is that we would like to run this run throughout the country.
Okay.
So have various committees across the country that take the idea of this. What we want to do is hand over the big book of how to do it to the next group, say in Alberta or Ontario or Prince Edward Island, and say, how about you guys do the same thing? We'll all raise money at the same time and donate it all to Wounded Warriors Canada, which, by the way, all that money, with a very small segment that goes to administration to run the charity, the vast majority of it goes to support and pay for programming so that veterans of the Canadian Armed Forces and RCMP get to attend these programs free of charge.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate what you're doing, and just good luck with the rest of the run and your plans for growth. I think it's phenomenal.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go Island. We're on location at the Campbell River Legion, where the Legion people have gotten together and they've done a flag presentation to the Wounded Warriors.
All the presidents of the legions, all the members, the MLAs. So what happened is when we got down to the bottom, we didn't know what to do with the flag, so we brought it back to Port Hardy. So this year, the gang down at Port McNeill brought it up to the start at Port Hardy, and now we're going to do it again. So each year, we're going to advance one community over, so eventually it will be your turn to have the flag, and we'll do the same thing for you guys. We can't wait to be back with your flag and present that to you. So if you guys could please be so kind enough to sign this for us.
Thanks.
Great. We can do a couple handshakes.
Need a handshake?
Yeah. For one, because we're getting two checks, right?
Yes.
Right. There's the check.
And now we're going to have a look at this story. Stay right where you are. We've got interviews coming up. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Thanks so much for staying with us. We are honored to be here at the Legion in Campbell River. Joining me now is one of the runners, Channing Cannell. Channing, which part of the run have you done so far?
I just finished the leg before we came in, and I did 20 Ks today, so it was all uphill, so I'm feeling very relieved to be here at the Legion with you. It's a relief.
How do you guys split up the legs?
Well, every day what happens is we keep in sequential order from the previous day, but it depends on, it's very dynamic. We're human beings, so if you're having an off time or an off day, or you've run some steep incline, we might have to change the rotation.
Okay.
So if you've been kind enough to eat a huge hill, then we might pull you off early.
Okay.
But we're going anywhere from, 10 to 35 kilometers a day, so it depends on where you're at.
Okay. So after you leave the Legion, you're going to go tomorrow morning. You're going to leave from Serious Coffee in Willow Point.
Exactly. Our home away from home, Serious Coffee.
And you're going to end up in the Comox Valley.
Yes.
At Wing.
The 888 Wing.
The 888 Wing.
Yeah.
And then from there you're going to Nanaimo.
Yes, correct.
And then from Nanaimo you're going.
Nanaimo, Duncan.
And then down to Victoria for Friday.
Duncan on Friday, culminating the whole 600 kilometers will end up in Victoria. We end up at our finish line at Bob Saunders Subaru, and then we make our way to the Langford Legion for about 6 o'clock.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Now, why are you doing this?
Well, that's a very good question. There's a whole bunch of reasons. First and foremost, I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, and I've had the displeasure of being in that dark, bottomless pit, and I survived, and I managed to get a lot of therapy, so I have many thanks for Veterans Affairs Canada and the Wounded Warriors, of course, Wounded Warriors Canada, and the Veterans Transition Program. So I'm doing this now to give back. It's my turn. I am now, believe it or not, I've turned a negative into a very positive thing. My very good friend, Lieutenant Colonel retired Chris Linford, once told me, you can overcome this, and you might find one day that you feel better than you've ever been, and you'll be grateful for having the post-traumatic stress. You'll experience personal growth and be a better person for it. I didn't believe that at first, but now I'm there, and I've come out the other side, and so it's my turn to give. So I don't get to stand on guard I don't get to stand on guard for thee anymore, but this is the way I'm going to give back.
Now, what do you have to say to anybody who's watching?
Please don't isolate. Don't self-isolate. Come out to Legion. Go to Wounded Warriors Canada. Go to Veterans Affairs. Talk to somebody. You know, whether you're a retired veteran or you're a current serving police officer, municipal, RCMP, or anybody in the emergency services, you have to start watching each other's backs and talking through this. It does not go away. It will not get better by ignoring it.
Okay, and what about the general public that aren't in the rules of support? What can they do to support?
Right. Well, again, they can start talking about this and being open within their own homes. Talk about, you know, when we put on our faces to go out into the world, that's a protective mechanism, and that's for survival. But when we get home, it's time to be open and vulnerable and discuss, have open communication at home. And secondary to that, if you could go and please donate. Go online to our website at woundedwarriorsbc.com. Go to Wounded Warriors Canada. You can go to any Legion across the province, or Canada for that matter. You can go to any Serious Coffee, Island Savings, Urge Tattoos in Victoria. I mean, we're here to, the money's going to go to the right place for sure.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today,
Thank
and
you.
congratulations
Thanks, Mary.
on the run, second year in a
Cheers.
row.
Yes.
And all the best for the future.
Thanks so much.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. The Wounded Warriors are here at the Legion in Campbell River, and now the presentations are over with. They've got the check, they've got the flag, and now they're going to get ready to have some much-deserved dinner. And so we're going to let them do that, and we're going to watch this. So we're on location at the Campbell River Legion, where the Wounded Warriors have arrived, and they are headed down to Victoria. They will arrive there on Friday. Now, what's happening right now is that people are signing the flag. Now, this year the flag is a Port McNeill flag, and every year a different community has a flag, and then the Wounded Warriors take that flag on their entire run, and as they get to each Legion, all of the executive sign the flag. So it's kind of cool, because then it's a complete memorabilia from that particular year. So by the time this gets to Victoria, there won't be any place to write on it except maybe the back. So the Wounded Warriors are going to be in Victoria on Friday. And if you can, do your part to support them by going online to their website, and you can donate right then and there. Now, the other thing that you can do is talk openly about mental illness in your home with your friends and your family, and that too helps to spread the word about mental illness and how many people it affects. Thank you so much for watching today. The rest of the week in the Comox Valley, of course, is Heritage Week, and they have a wonderful display at the Comox Center Mall. Be sure to check that out. The Comox Air Force Museum has one of the bigger displays. It is outstanding. So be sure to get there before Friday night. And then, of course, on Saturday is the Heritage Fair out in Cumberland, and it's going to be so much fun. So be sure to check that out this weekend. And for Campbell River and Powell River, check your local calendars. Have a great week. We'll see you in a couple of days.